Hi, and welcome to this analysis exercise. So, if we're analyzing, reviewing, or learning in any way at all, we want to ensure that the mind is in a very receptive and open place. Most of all, an objective place where we can genuinely learn from the experience. So, we're going to focus on that right now. Just take a moment to find a quiet spot where you're not going to be disturbed. And just take a moment to get comfortable. So preferably sitting upright with the eyes open, not staring at any one thing, but just aware of the space around you. A nice soft focus with the eyes. And when you're ready, just starting off with some nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just closing the eyes and just allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm in and out through the nose. And just feeling the weight of the body pressing down. Feeling the soles of the feet on the floor, the hands and the arms on the legs. And as you sit there, just take a moment to settle back into the space around you, just noticing the different sounds around you, perhaps noticing any resistance towards those sounds, just letting them come and go. And as you bring the attention now back to the body, just starting to notice in more detail how the body's feeling. Starting off at the top of the head, just gently scanning down evenly through the body. Pausing to notice even the sensation, the feeling in the smaller parts of the body. Not focusing on any one particular place, but evenly scanning from head to toe. And as you begin to become more aware of those sensations in the body, just starting to notice the movement of breath as well. So that rising and falling sensation wherever you feel it most. Not trying to breathe in any special way, just allowing the body to breathe as it is. And if you can't feel any movement at all, just gently placing your hand on your stomach so you can feel that rising and falling sensation more clearly. Just staying with that movement just for a few moments. And as you continue to follow that movement, it's almost as though the mind sinks down into that space. Wherever you feel the movement, it's almost as though the body just gives way a little bit. The mind sinking down into that space. It's a bit like that feeling when you sit down on a chair and it just gives way beneath you. In the same way, the body just gives way, the mind sinks down. Almost part of the breath, almost part of that rising and falling sensation as you just continue to follow that movement. And as you continue to follow the breath in that way, realizing each time when the mind wanders off and just gently bringing the attention back again. And in the same way as we did before, that idea of the chair just giving way beneath you, the mind just sinking down into the body. Even though it feels as though perhaps it had gone as far as it could, it's as though the body just gives way again. The mind sinks down even further into the body. Now really not separate from that breath at all. Just staying with that rising and falling movement. And now allowing that feeling of the body, the mind feeling very connected to remain. Just letting go of the focus, letting the mind do whatever it wants to do now. If it wants to think, let it think. Just let the mind be completely free now. And just bringing the attention now back into the body, back into the space around you as you just feel the weight of the body again, those points of contact. Starting to notice any sounds around you. The mind now calmer, clearer, more objective. In your own time, you can just gently open your eyes and carry that quality with you into your analysis. Hi, and welcome to this training exercise. Now, there's no way we can get the very best from our body unless our mind is in the right place. So we need to find a way to leave behind all the inner chatter and find instead a place of focus, of attention and awareness. So take these next few moments just to ready yourself for the training session today. And just start off by finding a comfortable place to sit where you're not going to be disturbed in the next 10 minutes. Sitting upright so you're focused but also relaxed in the body. Eyes open, a nice soft focus. So not looking at any one particular thing, but just aware of the space around you. And when you're ready, just taking some nice big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm in and out through the nose. As you just feel the weight of the body pressing down, and just take a moment to settle in to the space around you, just noticing the different sounds, just becoming more familiar with the space, even though the eyes are closed right now. And as you sit there ahead of your training, just noticing how the body feels right now, whether there's a sense of lightness or heaviness, sense of energy or lethargy, just noticing how the body feels. And just to help with that, starting at the top of the head, just taking 30 seconds or so to scan down through the body, just to notice how the different parts of the body are feeling, and if there are any particular areas of comfort or discomfort. And as you just start to become more familiar with those feelings in the body, more aware of what's being asked of the body, just starting to notice the movement of breath, that rising and falling sensation. So not changing the breath in any way, not trying to change the rhythm, just noticing what the natural rhythm is and where you feel that movement of breath. If you can't feel anything, just gently placing your hand on your stomach. And as you continue to follow the breath, just starting to count the breaths as they pass. If you find it helpful, just 1 with the rising sensation, 2 with the falling sensation, and 3 and 4. Just to a count of 10. When you get to 10, you can stop and start again at 1. And the breath's going to be our focus in this exercise. But every time you realize the mind's wandered off, I just want you to pause and be clear. Has it been distracted by thinking or by feeling? So mentally, you're just labeling or noting that. Oh yeah, thinking. Coming back to the breath, picking it up from the number you left off on. Oh yeah, feeling. Coming back to the breath. So just noting the nature of distraction in that way, each time returning to the object of focus. So each time you realize you're distracted, just gently noting, coming back to the breath again, just picking it up from where you left off. So just using this noting technique to see how the mind's behaving, to be clear, to note it. Is it getting caught up in thought? Is it getting caught up in feelings, sensations? And then coming back to the breath. There's something you'll be able to apply again and again throughout the training session to be more present. But for now, just coming back to the breath again. So just maintaining that sense of focus now as you start to feel an increasing sense of readiness. Ready to begin your training session, the mind in a very different spot right now, very focused, very clear. The body as well starting to feel increasingly energized as you just become more aware of the space around you, more aware of the different sensations in the body, the different sounds, and in your own time, when you're ready, you can just gently open the eyes, knowing that you can go into your session now, being able to see when you get distracted, to note it, to let it go, and to return to whatever you're doing in that moment to get the very best from your workout. Hi, and welcome to this rehab exercise. Now, obviously, this is designed to be done alongside any medical support you might be getting, but the primary goal of this exercise is to let go of any mental chatter and ensure that all of our time, all of our energy is put towards a smooth and quick recovery from injury. So just take a moment to get comfortable. You can do this exercise either sitting down, or if your injury prevents that, then perhaps lying on the floor. If you are lying down, you may just like to draw the feet in, have the knees bent just to take any pressure off the lower back. But once you're comfortable, either sitting there or lying there, eyes open, a nice soft focus. And when you're ready, just beginning the exercise with a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes as you allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And closing the eyes, just noticing the space around you, noticing the other senses, the sounds, physical sensations, and just taking a few moments just to settle back into that space. So as you sit there or lie there right now, just starting to notice how the body is feeling. Not specifically the area of injury, but the body as a whole. And just taking a few moments, starting at the top of the head, just scanning down towards the toes, noticing the areas of comfort as well as the areas of discomfort. And in noticing how the body's feeling, just starting to notice as well the movement of the breath in the body. So noticing where in the body you feel that movement. As always, if you can't feel the breath at all, just gently placing your hand on your stomach and just taking a moment to just rest the mind's attention on that rising and falling sensation. So just staying with the breath for a moment, allowing thoughts to come and go. So not resisting anything, not trying to do anything or change anything. Just present with that rising and falling sensation. And then I'd just like you to turn your attention to the area of injury, of discomfort. And I'd like you to imagine right in the middle of it, is a tiny pinprick of light. So it's almost like bright sunlight, like a speck of light right in the middle. I'd like you to imagine that it has the ability as it grows to just bring a sense of warmth, of ease, of comfort to that area of the body. So rather than being caught up in lots of negative chatter, instead we turn our attention in a positive way to rehabilitating that part of the body. And as soon as we notice that little speck of light, a little pinprick of sunlight, it just begins to grow on its own. It just starts to expand outward very slowly at first in every direction. As it does so, it brings a sense of spaciousness, of ease to that area. Again, we don't need to do anything, we're just watching, noticing, feeling as it continues to expand outward in every direction. And just continuing to stay with that now. As it continues to expand, perhaps even beyond the boundaries of that area or the boundaries of the body. So wherever you're up to right now, doesn't matter whether that sunlight's still expanding within the area or if it's already gone beyond the boundaries of the body. Just staying with that feeling, still aware of the breath, the rising, falling sensation. And it's almost as though, with the attention on that area and an awareness of the breath, it's almost as though that part of the body breathes in and breathes out. There's a sense of movement there, a sense of flow. And nothing to do, just watching, feeling, a sense that that area is recovering in some way. So we just follow the rise and the fall, the movement of breath in that area. And just staying with that feeling now, knowing that that quality of recovery is present in the body, in the mind. You can open your eyes whenever you like to, but just staying there for as long as you want to. Hi, and welcome to this focus exercise. So this is designed to be used pretty much in any situation, but particularly when the mind feels very scattered or confused in some way. So I'd like you to begin by just finding a quiet place where you're not going to be disturbed for the next 10 minutes. Just sitting upright, preferably with the arms and legs uncrossed, the feet flat on the floor. You can sit on the floor if it's more comfortable. Eyes open and a nice soft focus. So without staring at one thing, just aware of the space around you. And when you're sitting comfortably, just taking some nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just closing the eyes. And in closing the eyes, just becoming more aware of the other senses, in particular that feeling of contact, touch, the body pressing down, the feet on the floor, the hands and the arms on the legs. And just take a few moments just to settle into that feeling and into the space around you, just starting to notice the different sounds, just allowing those sounds to come and go. And just bringing the attention now back to the body. Just starting to notice how the body's feeling. Whether there's a sense of ease or a sense of tightness, tension in the body. And just to get a clearer picture, just scanning down from head to toe. Just noticing how the different parts of the body feel right now. Now, as you scan down through the body, can't help but notice the movement of the breath, the rising and falling sensation. To begin with, I'd just like you to notice where in the body you feel that movement and how it feels, whether there's a sense of space, tightness. It might be around the chest, diaphragm, the stomach, but just noticing the area of the body where you feel that movement most strongly. And if you can't feel anything at all, just gently placing your hand on your stomach so you can feel that movement. And as it becomes more obvious where you feel that movement and how that feels in the body, just starting to pay a little more attention now to each breath, noticing how each one is perhaps a little different from the last, from the next. How one's perhaps a bit longer, next shorter, and one may be deeper, next one a little more shallow. So just paying a bit more attention to each breath now. So letting go of any idea of comparing one breath to the next, not thinking about it, just noticing and just coming to each breath afresh now. So just being present with the rising sensation and then the falling sensation. So that's it. Anything else, we just see it as a distraction, we let it go, and we come back to either the rising sensation or the falling sensation. So each time the mind wanders off, just realizing it's wandered, knowing that the only thing we have to come back to is what's happening right now. Anything else is just an idea. Just coming back to that movement, that rising sensation or the falling sensation. And knowing that that's always with us, wherever we are, we can always come back to that feeling. But for now, letting go of that focus, letting go of needing to do anything at all. In fact, just letting the mind do whatever it wants to do. So now if it wants to wander, you can let it wander. And now just gently bringing the attention back into the body as you just start to become more aware of the space around you, just feeling the weight of the body pressing down again. The feet on the floor, starting to notice the different sounds around you as well. You can just open your eyes in your own time, but just allowing that quality of focus to remain. Hi, and welcome to this competition exercise. Now, the idea of this is, how do we step out of the busyness of the mind and instead find a state of readiness, of flow, beyond thought, beyond feeling. Now, you can do this exercise either sitting down or standing up, and with your eyes open or your eyes closed. But wherever you are right now, just sitting comfortably or standing comfortably, just take a moment to settle both the body and the mind. And to begin with, I'd like you just to focus on the breath. And start just by taking a couple of nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, you're focusing on the sensation of the body filling with air. As you breathe out, just feeling the muscles soften, the body relax as it lets go. Just taking a couple of breaths like that. And with the next out breath, if you choose, just gently closing the eyes, or just maintaining a very soft focus. The eyes open but not really looking at any one particular thing right now. Allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. As you just focus on the points of contact. So it may be the contact between the body and the chair or the floor, the bench beneath you. It may be the contact between the soles of the feet and the floor. But just noticing the distribution of weight there. So whether you feel the weight more to the back, to the front, to the side. And just finding a place of balance where you feel grounded and centered in the body. And as well as focusing on those physical sensations, just starting to take in the sounds around you now. So not blocking them out, allowing them in. It's almost as though you're settling back into that soundscape, just allowing sounds to come and go. And as you just bring the attention now back to the body, and starting to notice that readiness, that state of ease, of flow in the body. Just starting at the top of the head, just working your way down towards the toes, just gently, evenly scanning, noticing how the body's feeling. Again, just centering the body, the mind on that point of focus as you travel down through the body. And as you become more aware of that feeling, the sensations in the body, just starting to notice now the breathing as well. So a really good indication of how the mind is behaving without breathing in any special way, just starting to notice how the body is breathing, whether the breaths are long or short, deep or shallow. Just following that movement of breath, again, either with your eyes closed or just maintaining that very soft focus as you stare into the distance. And having focused the mind in this way, you can either just stay with the breath for just a few moments longer, or if you have your eyes open, just choosing an object, a place, location to focus on. So perhaps just blinking a few times to refocus the eyes. Not staring too intently, but just gently placing your vision on one thing that is your object of focus. Still aware of the breath, aware of sounds around you, allowing thoughts to come and go, but every time you get distracted, just coming back to that place. Or if you have your eyes shut, using the breath in just the same way as your object of focus. Every time you get distracted, just coming back to that sensation. Remember, just allowing thoughts to come and go. Our focus right here in this moment. Not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, but just present with this moment. And just maintaining that sense of focus now as you begin to feel an increasing sense of readiness in both the body and the mind. Just bringing the attention now back into the body, back into a feeling of the body pressing down, the feet on the ground, starting to notice the different sounds around you as you open the eyes. Just a sense of being present, aware, and ready to perform. Hi, and welcome to this communication exercise. Now, it's really important if we're about to go into an important conversation that the mind is calm, that it's open, that it's objective. Although it's important to think in advance about what we might like to say, if we overthink things, then we tend to get in our own way. So this exercise is designed just to step out of that chatter and just prepare yourself for that type of conversation. So just take a moment to sit comfortably. either on a chair or on the floor, eyes open, and with a nice soft focus with the eyes, so just aware of the space around you. Just starting off the exercise with a couple of nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes. And in closing the eyes, just becoming more aware of the other senses. Feeling that contact between the body and the chair or the floor. Contact between the feet and the floor, and the hands and the arms on the legs. And just take a moment just to settle back into the different sounds. Just getting a bit more comfortable in the space around you. And just slowly shifting the attention now back to the body as you just start to notice how the body's feeling right now. Perhaps in anticipation of that conversation, just noticing any areas of tightness or excitement, whatever it might be. But just scanning down from the top of the head to the toes, just noticing how each and every part of the body feels. And as you become more aware of those sensations, becoming more aware as well of the breath, rising and falling sensation. Just noticing where in the body you feel the movement and the rhythm of breathing without changing it or trying to change it in any way at all. Remember, if you can't feel anything, just gently placing your hand on your stomach so you can feel that movement of the breath in the body. And as you continue to follow the breath in that way, knowing that it's normal to have lots of chatter, lots of thoughts in the mind in advance of an important or difficult conversation. Just allowing those thoughts to come and go. Each time just bringing the attention back to the breath. And I'd like you to pay special attention to the out breath. So you don't have to breathe in any special way, no extra effort going into the out breath, but just following the out breath. Still aware of the in breath, of course, but our real focus is on following the out breath from its very beginning to its very end. Just continuing in that way on your own for a few moments. So just continuing to use that out breath as the object of focus each time you realize the mind's wandered off, just gently bringing the attention back again. We're looking for the very beginning of the out breath. As we follow the out breath, noticing whether it's smooth, whether it's interrupted in any way. And even if it appears to stop, just pausing, waiting to notice whether it will then continue. And at the end, in a similar way, just pausing, noticing, waiting for the body to naturally take the in-breath rather than trying to inhale. Each time just following the out-breath in that way. And now just letting go of that focus on the breath. Just give your mind a couple of moments just to do whatever it wants to do. And just bringing the attention now back to the body. As you just start to become more aware of the space around you, the feelings, sensations in the body, the sounds around you, the space around you, as you gently open your eyes, the mind clear, focused, and ready for whatever conversation is to follow. Hi, and welcome to this recovery exercise. So, no matter whether you've just finished doing what you're doing or if you've already done your cool down, just finding a quiet place where you can either sit or lie down to do this exercise. And I'd just like you to begin by, once you're sitting comfortably or lying down comfortably, I'd like you to begin with your eyes open. Just a very soft focus, aware of the space around you. And when you're ready, just taking some nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe out now, just gently closing the eyes. And in closing the eyes, just feeling the weight of the body, either just sinking down into the chair or into the ground, just letting go, allowing the muscles to relax, to sink down. And just taking a moment or two just to you just settle back into the space around you, noticing the physical sensations and also any sounds around you. So as you sit there or lie there, even if the breath's still going very fast, that's fine. Allow the breath to do what it needs to do to come back to a natural place of rest. In the same way, allowing the mind to chatter away if it wants to, allow thoughts to come and go. We're just starting off by gently bringing the attention into the body, starting to notice how the body's feeling, and almost just sort of checking in with the body post-exercise as we scan down from head to toe, just noticing how the body's feeling right now. Not getting stuck on any one particular feeling, but just evenly scanning down, getting an overall picture of how the body feels. And as you do that, just starting to notice the movement of the breath as well, that rising and falling sensation. If you like, you can just gently place your hand on the stomach just to feel that movement. You're just feeling the breath begin to normalize in the rhythm as you just watch that rising and falling sensation. And just maintaining a sense of focus on the breath, a very gentle focus. Just turning the attention now to the top of the head, and I'd like you to imagine a very steady stream of warm, bright sunlight just shining down on the body. It's almost as though it has a liquid quality to it as it flows down. I'd like you to imagine it almost flowing down through the head into the body. And we're just going to imagine the body filling up with this quality, spaciousness, of ease. Create a sense of relaxation and recovery in the body. And we just watch as it flows downwards through the body, down the legs, into the feet, and into each and every toe. And as we watch it travel up through the body, almost like a vase filling up, there's a sense that as it passes through that area of the body, it just melts away any tension, just leaving behind a sense of ease as we watch it travel up through the lower half of the legs, past the knees, into the upper half of the legs. Again, the muscles just giving way. And as we watch, it's almost as though it's just happening on its own. It doesn't require any effort. It has its own rhythm, its own speed. We're just watching. It travels up now towards the waist, the pelvis, the hips. And just any tension dissolving in that sunlight as we watch now as it travels into the lower half of the trunk, the lower back, the stomach. Just slowly moving upwards, up towards the diaphragm, chest, and the upper back. Again, a sense of any tension just melting away, sense of ease. As it travels now up into the shoulders, still flowing down from above the head into the body. Now flowing down either arm, the upper half of the arms, to the lower half of the arms, down into the hands, and each and every finger. As it continues to flow down, now traveling up through the neck and the throat area. Again, just feeling everything giving way, jaw relaxing as it moves up into the head, face, the eyes, any tension just melting away. It travels all the way to the top of the head. And when the entire body feels as though it has this warm, spacious quality, as though it's already moved into a state of recovery, just staying there as long as you need to, either focusing on that sensation or the feeling, the movement of the breath. And just opening the eyes when you're ready. Hi, and welcome to this motivation exercise. Now, no matter how much you love what you do, no matter how committed and disciplined you are, there are times when either you just can't remember why you're doing what you're doing, or the inner chatter of the mind becomes so much that we lose that sense of clarity and purpose. So this exercise is just about rediscovering what that is. It's not about thinking more. In fact, it's about letting go of thought and coming back to that core idea of why you do what you do. So just take a moment to sit comfortably wherever you are right now. Preferably upright, sitting straight, eyes open, a nice soft focus with the eyes. And when you're ready, just taking a couple of nice big deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm, in and out through the nose. As you just start to feel the weight of the body pressing down against a chair or the floor, wherever you're sat. And you just start to notice the different sounds around you. So just settling back into the space around you. So as you sit there, just starting to notice in a bit more detail how the body's feeling. Forgetting about any idea of motivation, just now focusing purely on the sensations in the body, and just to help with that, starting at the top of the head, just gently scanning down through the body, head to toe, just noticing what feels comfortable and what feels uncomfortable in the body right now. And as you pay attention to the body in that way, it's almost impossible not to notice the movement of the breath in the body, that rising and falling sensation. You might feel it around the chest, the diaphragm, the stomach. If you can't feel anything at all, just gently placing your hand on the stomach, but just starting to notice the rhythm of the breath without breathing in any particular way, just noticing whether the breaths are long or short, deep or shallow. So all the while, just allowing thoughts to come and go. The moment you realize you're distracted, just gently bringing the attention back again to that rising and falling sensation. And having focused the mind in that way, just asking yourself the question, specifically in relation to sport. Why are you doing what you're doing? And ask it in exactly that way, in the second person. Why are you doing what you're doing? Just asking the question, not trying to answer it in any way, but just asking the question and seeing what comes up in the mind when you ask that. So in this exercise, we're more interested in the feeling than any particular thought or idea. Of course, thoughts will bubble up in the mind, just allowing those thoughts to bubble to the surface. But just noticing that feeling that arises when you pose that question. But just taking a break from that, just coming back to the breath again, just for a moment. Just going to focus on the breath for a few short moments. Again, nothing to do, just noticing when the mind gets distracted, gently bringing it back to the breath again. And now just asking that question again. So it's almost as though we're asking somebody else. We don't know what the answer will be, or even if there is an answer. Simply asking the question, specific to sport. Why are you doing what you're doing? Allowing the thoughts to bubble up. Noticing the feeling underneath. Just staying with that. And now just letting go of that feeling or any focus on the breath, and just allowing the mind to do whatever it wants for a few short moments. And then just bringing the attention now back to the body. Just starting to feel those different sensations in the body again. Starting to notice the posture of the body, starting to notice the sounds, the smells around you. And in your own time, when you're ready, you can just gently open the eyes.